What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for those who don't know, we pretty much got all the leaks for Modern Warfare 4, which is going to be coming out not in 2025, but in 2026. I know, everybody's going to be saying, oh, JB, how are you talking about a game that is still a year plus away? Well, again, it's kind of the fun of talking about Call of Duty, you know? It's enjoyable to discuss all the leaks, information, rumors, so on and so forth. But I saw a post from the Ghost of Hope responding to a lot of the leaks that have, come out from Modern Warfare 4, saying that he's pretty much shocked about the overall, situation and can't really believe that Infinity Ward would truthfully go this deep after getting criticized so many years in a row. As you can see right here, I do believe Reality has these from a trusted source. Haven't heard any of these myself though, but I just find it hard to believe they'd go 3 for 3 on not listening to anything. LOL. Refuse to believe it. And honestly, I was kind of in the same boat as well. Seriously, especially after the Modern Warfare 3 marketing, when Activision openly threw Infinity Ward under the bus to hype up Modern Warfare 3, saying it was everything that Modern Warfare 2 wasn't. Yeah, at that point, I kind of was convinced as well that Infinity Ward would probably not keep up with their vision that they had for the overall Call of Duty universe. But in the back of my head, I knew, again, I wanted to believe that maybe they would switch up, but I knew that Infinity Ward would stick to their methods when it comes to putting together a Call of Duty game. And again, I'll explain exactly why, but before I go ahead and do so, I would like to just kind of go over the current leaks right now for Modern Warfare 4 so you guys understand what is currently changing. Again, with Black Ops 7, they're removing the doors, taking away tax sprints, so on and so forth. They're fixing a lot of stuff up for the community, and as I stated in previous videos, I felt a little fishy that Activision wouldn't keep up with this consistency. And of course, it becomes true, as you can see right here from Reality UK. All of the Modern Warfare 4 leaks from me. Doors returned, tax sprint returns, no ADS while sliding, no Omni movement, no dedicated melee slot, red dots return, slide canceling returns, and visual recoil on par with Modern Warfare 2. Now, the main thing that I will say I like is the fact that red dots are returning. Thank the heavens. We don't got to worry about the minimap being a classic Infinity Ward disaster. But obviously, at the end of the day, this game is going to be playing on par to what Modern Warfare 2 2022 was all about. ADS walking, creeping around all the corners, and it just doesn't feel arcadey. It feels something more like Rainbow Six Siege than anything else. But as I stated, that is a style that is within Call of Duty nowadays. And I didn't expect Infinity Ward to stop. A lot of people out there think that Infinity Ward is going to change up their ways because they have made disaster after disaster. But let's be honest here, Modern Warfare 2019 and Modern Warfare 2 2022 are some of the most top-selling Call of Duty games known to mankind right now. And also on top of that, the Call of Duty community is absolutely huge. It doesn't just boil down to the most hardcore, sweaty players, you know what I'm saying? And let's be honest here, when it comes to how many people actually interact with content like you're watching right here, it's very few. I would probably say it's probably 5%, maybe even less, of the overall Call of Duty base that actually goes online and looks at content, All of us, all of you guys watching this right now, even when it comes down to my Battlefield content, Splitgate content, Gears content, no matter what game I cover, you guys are in a very small percentile, right? The massive majority of this community doesn't give a crap about content and doesn't give a crap about what's going on online. And also, I'll tell you one thing. A lot of these players like a realistic style of shooter. Now, I'm not, supporting that when it comes to COD. I want everybody to understand this. When it comes to Call of Duty, I think Infinity Ward back in the day did a fantastic job at mixing those two attributes, between having a game that's a little bit more realistic of something, compared to what Treyarch will put out, where it's very, very, very arcadey. But at the end of the day, it was still an arcade shooter, It wasn't anything serious. It wasn't Rainbow, so on and so forth. Fast forward to current date, Infinity Ward took that mentality and is pushing even further with it, even harder with it than ever before. And they're doing it for a reason, right? They're not doing it because it's just simply ego. They're doing it because that's what a massive portion of people out there enjoy. There is a huge marketplace for realistic type shooters, tac shooters, games that have, way more focus on attention to detail and realism than the actual arcade nature. It's very popular. And again, whether we want to acknowledge this or not, the reality is that there are games out there that are just like I described, that are blowing up and making the developers absolute bank. And as we all know, Call of Duty is trying to be the best of all worlds. Call of Duty has lost its identity a long time ago because that's what it's pushing for. It wants to be a game for everyone. And sadly, when you have a game for everyone, it becomes a game that is for no one. But that's what Call of Duty wants. They want to be that go-to game that everybody knows. Everybody knows the Call of Duty title, and they want to, make it to the point where everybody can get some type of fix out of the overall franchise, including the hardcore milsim crowd. And ladies and gentlemen, that right there is exactly why I don't believe Infinity Ward will ever change their ways. Unless a Jetpack COD comes out and it's their turn to go ahead and make one, I don't see them changing anything about their current formula. From Modern Warfare 2019 up to current date, shoot, I would even say back to Call of Duty Ghosts, they were slowly starting to try to implement this. It wasn't there completely just yet. It was still a fun arcade game that was weighed down by a lot of other garbage that, made it probably the most hated COD game between that and Advanced Warfare within the overall community. But Modern Warfare 2019 and Modern Warfare 2 2022 pushed even further. And as I stated, that's not going to change whatsoever because of the exact fact that they're trying to please everyone. I don't want this, and I'm sure a lot of you guys don't want that either. We want to see Call of Duty thrive, but in Activision's eyes, they see potential absolutely everywhere, and that's what they're doing. They are putting Infinity Ward onto the milsim realistic side of Call of Duty, while Treyarch still sticks with the more arcade side of Call of Duty, which they both used to be on with different atmospheres. But no, they want a realistic style Call of Duty game. They want to tap into that milsim marketplace, but allow them to hop into a game that isn't as serious, because a lot of milsims take a lot of time, they require a lot of effort. Call of Duty doesn't. Call of Duty is one of those games you hop in, although skill-based matchmaking is a nightmare nowadays. You can get a quick match, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, you'll get a couple of games in, and then you can go about the rest of your business for the day. They want to give those fans of milsims and realistic shooters that type of experience, to give them a game that's like a realistic, shooter without the long games and drawn out hour-long sessions. No, you can get in and play a quick match of Call of Duty. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly why you can ask anybody online and they'll all tell you Modern Warfare 2019 and Modern Warfare 2 2022 are the worst COD games. Absolutely nothing like Call of Duty, and they changed the formula way too drastically that they're horrible. Yet and still, they are some of the most top-selling COD games on the market. People are still playing them, surprisingly, current date. And, Infinity Ward refuses to change their ways because they are trying to please a different audience. And for me personally, and I think for a lot of you guys, that's bad. Call of Duty should not be trying to be a game that is for everyone out there. But the whole reason of this video is not to describe that, it's to tell you why Infinity Ward is doing what they're doing, and that's because they are trying to please a different market. That is why you will never see change with Infinity Ward, and they will stay being the team that tries to make the most realistic Call of Duty experience no matter what. It's hilarious because there's a reason why you see the people who are saying Modern Warfare 2019 is the best game or Modern Warfare 2 2022 was phenomenal are usually players who aren't even COD players. People who might only play something like Rainbow Six Siege, or they only play CSGO, or even Battlefield. I love Battlefield to death, but over half of the community that I see that is within Battlefield love Modern Warfare 2019. You see what I'm saying here? Every game Infinity Ward makes is not for the COD community. We already struggle enough with Sledgehammer and Treyarch making COD games for the COD community. They're slowly getting better, but there's so many different things weighing them down, including skill-based matchmaking, servers, anti-cheat, and most obviously Activision. But for Infinity Ward, they don't even try, and that is exactly why. They're aiming for a different market, and if you think that Infinity Ward is going to change anytime down the road, I guarantee people are going to complain like nobody else's business with Modern Warfare 4. But is that going to change anything? No, it's not. They will always stick with that mentality until the day comes where Activision starts wanting to force Call of Duty in the direction of being a more, tight-knit community instead of trying to make it a game for everyone out there. But, ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. I post here daily at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. And sometimes we go ahead and double upload at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Everything between COD, Battlefield, Splitgate 2, Arc Raiders, Gears of War, and pretty much any other, shooting game that I possibly enjoy, I try to go ahead and discuss on this channel. So subscribe and hit that bell. And last but not least, I do stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch, starting between 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, if you guys are interested, go link that channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.